And this is the 6th episode of Cultural Connection.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If sorry, he just said it out of nowhere. That caught me so off guard. Anyways, if you haven't noticed, your original host is here. Glad to be back. Thank you. Did you really have to? You know what? I'm not gonna thank you. I'm not gonna thank you anymore for subbing in for me last time. So no, thank you, Kenneth, for subbing in for me. Of course. Why
You're
did
welcome.
I add that? Shut the fuck up. Anyways, although I am here today,
We're gonna get demonetized.
We're not monetized.
We don't even get paid.
exactly. Oh my god, let me say what I need to say.
Oh my god, she's banging the table. That's not good for you're peeking right now. All right.
Although I'm here today, we are actually going to follow one of our previous episode structures since today's topic is going to be on being multiracial. Since yours truly is biracial, I will actually be passing on the mic to Kenneth here so he can ask the question. So go ahead, Kenneth.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at OBS right now, and you're like going towards the mic, and it's peaking so hard. It's going to red. It's okay. Don't worry. Speaking of mics, in case you didn't notice, I got a new one.
No one
Sounds
cares,
great.
Kenneth.
It sounds
How much
great.
did you pay for it?
Hey,
I don't care.
I paid $130 for it, but that's with a
Nerd.
discount code.
Loser.
That's a discount code
Nerd.
from Pokemon.
Yes, it is.
Can you
It would have
continue, Kenneth?
originally been $160.
Oh my
Anyway,
god, he's still talking.
Shut up.
all right. So
Get off the stage.
there's no stage. I'm
Throws
in my chair.
tomatoes.
Throws tomatoes.
Get off your chair! Oh my god, don't
Get
be
off
so
your
loud.
You can continue.
Right. Okay. So, first question. So there's actually a total of 3 original members. What? Did I say something? I don't even.
Keep going.
So there is actually a total of 3 of our original members here. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Is that
Can
right?
you continue the sentence, Kenneth? There's
Yes.
more written there.
Who are multiracial.
That's true.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what was funny. Did I say something stupid?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Just keep going.
Would you guys like to enlighten us with your ethnicities?
Hi, I'm Sav, and I'm black and white.
Hi, I'm Savannah.
Why did you say it like that?
The emphasis.
Oh my god. Anyways, I'm Alex. I am Chinese Colombian. And then we also have Trang here. Say hi, Trang.
Why did you say
Hi.
that?
I know.
She's just here.
You're not multiracial, so you don't matter today.
Neither am I. I mean, I don't like.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, they're just Slash trying to J. leave me and Kenneth out.
Basically.
/J. /LH.
What?
Slash serious.
What?
Are you guys making fun of
Slash
phone
confused.
indicators now?
No.
Okay,
I
keep
know that
on
you're
going. Keep on going, Keenus.
Penis. So first of all, let's start with a positive question first. What do you guys enjoy most? What do you guys enjoy about being multiracial?
Read the script, Kenneth.
I like to speak how I like to speak.
This is so
I'm gonna
smelly.
cry. Sav, you can go. Sav, you can go. Go ahead.
Oh. I guess it's like cool. But I enjoy
What
the
do you like
most,
about
I guess.
being white?
That's what I'm saying. Like I was gonna say, I get to embrace 2 different cultures, but like what fucking culture on one side.
No, for real.
Okay, no.
Bad
But
Thanksgivings.
what I enjoy the most, my dad's Italian. My white
sorry.
side.
Oh, so he's
spicy
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you get to
Actually,
eat like
spicy
good spaghetti? Am I being racist?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I
No.
cook it spaghetti.
Is that? Can you be racist to Italian people? Is
I
that
don't
a
know.
thing? I don't think that's a thing.
I love
Okay.
Italian people.
I
my
love
God, you know-
Mario.
My dad used
Okay.
to own a pizza shop. He used to own a pizza shop.
He actually did.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
When I was in elementary school. Yeah. So
Interesting.
that
was it like a franchise or was it like an actual pizza shop?
No. It was in
Did
a
you own like a Little Caesars?
it was like a
Little Caesars. He worked at Little
like
Caesars.
a mom and pop. It was like a mom and pop.
Oh,
That's kind of cool though.
that's
How about,
thought she
how
was gonna
about
be
the
like-
other Savannah? How do you?
What's your take
how
on
you
being
like it?
white?
Yeah, what's your thing about being white?
I think the names are funny. Like I have a cousin who's
What?
Brewster.
Brewster?
Rooster, like the animal, like the chicken.
Oh,
Wait,
Rooster.
Rooster
His
or
name is
Brewster?
Rooster.
Legally, yep,
His name
that's
is
not a nickname.
Rooster.
Rooster. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Imagine they're like calling Ro and they're like,
Rooster.
no, it's gonna be like a white last
Does he
name,
do like a
Rooster
cock-a-doodle-doo
Johnson.
every single time he's called?
What?
Johnson's not a white name.
Johnson can be a. Okay, I'll use my own
Anyway.
white boyfriend's name.
But like, I mean, the names are funny. But like, I guess it's nice to experience like two different sides. You know, it's nice to have. There's not
What's
much on
what's
side.
this side you're experiencing? What's this like?
You know?
No. Like your
Like
white
the
side.
the white side.
What's this experience? What's it like?
I talked about this in episode 1, which you should go watch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I talked about my experiences with Thanksgiving and how I go to my white family side, and it is never a good experience because
I'm so sorry. I'm
I
so
was,
sorry.
like, the stereotype is very legit for my side of the family. I don't know about the others, Savannah, but it's not it's not desirable. But like, we also talked about food in episode 1. Again, go watch. But
We should have like a whole episode on food.
honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Food.
Stay tuned.
I
But
love food.
anyways, but yeah, food is important. Like getting to experience the good and the bad.
Talk about your dad's little. What is it?
What was it? The Mexican salad, right? Is that what it was?
My
What?
father, for a couple like pretty much every like holiday, he makes this abomination called Mexican salad, where he uses like iceberg lettuce, black beans, chunks of cheddar cheese,
Uh-huh.
like I think like carrots,
What
And,
does that
like,
feel like a hate crime?
and then he uses like
It is.
Catalina dressing. But the thing is like, you know how iceberg lettuce is really watery?
Yeah.
The water from the iceberg
Oh.
lettuce being cut will like mix with the Catalina dressing, so it looks like a soup. And I literally like, he's the only one that eats it. He's the only one that eats it.
No.
Yeah.
Because in
Oh
my
my
house,
God.
it's me, him, and my mom, and we don't touch it. It's so like I
Ooh.
never, and I won't.
This is kind of
Yeah.
off topic, but I've seen Savannah's dad like on her Instagram, and he looks so white.
He's
Like
he's very pale. He's definitely
He's like
very
the definition of white.
no, like you.
Like if
he
you think
looks-
white man, you think of Savannah's dad.
my dad's name is also Richard.
Yep.
That's even worse.
Richard
I need
and
to laugh.
Richard and David.
Yeah, my dad's name is David.
Yep.
Very strong.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But talking about food, oh my god, stop talking about my experience. Sorry. I'm actually not white, thank God. I would like to
Shut up.
Oh my
I
god.
would like to thank my mom and my dad. I think what's a very what's a very interesting thing about being like biracial and having like a Hispanic side of the family and an Asian side of the family is of course the food. Like I feel like that's a given for any
We need
culture,
a
like
whole
the food.
episode on
The
food. Like,
food.
for
We
real.
really do.
We're gonna
But,
do an episode on food.
What do you huh?
No,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we're
What do you call
gonna do
it?
an episode on
The
food.
food. Okay, Kenneth.
Yeah.
We got it, Kenneth. We
Yeah.
got
Stay
it.
tuned, guys.
Yeah.
Stay
Good job.
tuned.
Stay tuned. But talking about food, I get to like kind of grow up with two different types of food, and that makes sense. Like you know how like some people who only grow up Asian just only grow up on Asian food. Well, I get to grow up on Asian.
Are you
food
trying to
and
call me out?
Yes, I am.
No.
Yes, I am. And I think I just get to like kind of see a more variety in things, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's also really fun because my dad grew up in Venezuela, so technically his, what do you call it? Like his nationality would be Venezuelan.
Venezuelan?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I said that so white. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Dad.
Venezuelan?
He's Chinese, right? So he's a Chinese
Uh-huh.
person who grew up in Venezuela. So we like to make like I know tamales aren't from, or we don't make like the Venezuelan tamales because they're very different from Mexican tamales, but we made Mexican tamales and he was like, let's be Asian and add bulgogi to it. These are like two different things. They're not
Oh,
even Chinese or
nice.
Colombian or Venezuelan. But yeah, I gave some to
Yeah,
Savannah.
she did
But
do
we
that.
made tamales with bulgogi in it. If you don't know what bulgogi is basically like a sweet Korean meat. So we put it as a filling in the tamales. That's like the sum. I feel like if I was a food, that would be me.
What?
Bulgogi tamale.
Are you kidding me, Tamal? We have had this exact conversation before.
About
where you
kidney?
said- no, where you said like we literally had this. We did this in episode 1. You said if that was a food, that would be you, and I said pinning the tamales.
Did we really?
I did.
Oh my god, I would have to watch that video again.
Which you guys, listeners, should also do.
My God.
Watch
Thank you, Savannah.
Love that self promo.
Savannah always doing the self promo. She
Self-promo.
never.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Stay on it.
That's right.
But yeah, I really enjoy that aspect about being multiracial. Just being able to experience, like, both of my different cultures. Because I think both of my cultures are very, very special.
Yeah, like, again, with food, like, I love when my mom teaches me how to cook stuff. Like, my mom taught me how to make Filipino curry, and I took it and ran with it, and now I make it and force all my friends to eat it. And I actually gave Alex some curry today.
It was good. My dad said it was good too. He said
Yeah!
it was sweet. He said it was really sweet.
It was, no,
It was
because
good.
I don't usually like it sweet. This is a little off topic. I don't usually like it sweet, but my mom was like, you should put sugar in it. And so she put sugar in it. And I was like, why?
I mean, it was still good.
Yeah, it was still good. I added like, because I prefer it more savory than sweet. Because for some reason, Filipino people love like making savory dishes sweet.
I swear.
Yeah, they'll do like sweet with savory. Like they're all about that. Like we have cheese, ice cream, and then they'll put raisins in like everything to make it sweet. Like my mom will put raisins.
You can tell a dessert is Filipino if it has cheese in it. And like not even just like it's mixed in with it. Like you just took a slice of cheese and you slapped it on top.
Yeah, no, for real. Or like we have so this is a common misconception because in Spanish, puto is a bad word.
It is a rice dessert.
It is a steamed. It's like a steamed.
It's steamed rice bun.
Rice dough.
Yeah, something like
it's like
that.
a rice cake, I guess.
Yeah, rice cake.
And they put cheese or butter on it, and we have like breads that you put butter, but it's sweet bread, but you put like butter on it. Like we have this bakery chain called Red Ribbon that has like butter mamon. It's like a sweet bread, but it has like butter. It's so weird. Like I don't know why they.
It's just a bunch of cheese, but yes, puto is not just.
What'd you call me? Just kidding.
It's not just a bad word. It's also a very good dessert. You should. I should try.
That's very interesting. And if you want to continue with the next. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Never mind. Never mind.
No, say it.
Is there something you need?
I was just gonna ask you to make me some of that curry, but like.
Oh, I still have. I will actually, but I'll make it vegetable free because you are pescatarian.
Wait, she made some for the potluck.
And then there
was meat in it.
I ate it.
Oh yeah.
It was only Alexia that ate it. I was so like my mom was interrogating. This is kind of off topic again, but Trang had a potluck, right, where we all brought like food, and I made curry for this event, and no one ate it except Alexia. And
I was so excited for it, and then you're like, "Oh, there's meat in it."
I literally worked so hard on it, and no one ate it, and then I wasn't hurt because I was like, some people don't like curry, and I brought it home, and my mom was like, "Why didn't they eat your curry?"
Okay, the only reason why was because my stomach was hurting, and I was like, if I ate curry, I was gonna be on the toilet right after that.
I have a stupid reason for not eating it. It's because it was too far for me to reach, so I didn't want to ask
Wait,
anyone.
yeah, sometimes it's like that because I get scared to ask people to
Yeah.
like scoop me
And
something, and I'm like,
didn't put a spoon in it. She didn't.
There
put
was
something-
no
I thought I did.
And I was like,
Did it.
dang, if it was near me, I would get some, but there's no spoon, and I don't want to use mine because
I'm
that's
sorry,
nasty.
but
Everybody
Savannah,
ate my mac and cheese. Everybody
I
ate the
ate
mac and
some.
cheese.
It was hella
Yeah.
It was
good.
really good. We will put this in our episode about food.
Yes. Okay. Next
My mother's
question.
mac and cheese.
Next question. Was there ever a moment where you felt out of touch with any of your cultures?
Damn, that went from 0 to 100.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
okay.
I'm the one who wrote these questions. I got
Yes.
mad. I don't know why. I just got
She
really
got mad.
upset.
All right.
At yourself or what? Oh, for who wrote these?
I wrote them. Who else
Oh.
would write them?
Did you get mad at yourself?
I got upset. I
Oh
was
my
like, I know I'm
God.
gonna get upset in this podcast.
God,
like
freaking multiracial. Ugh.
but what do you
Oh
call
my
it?
God.
I feel like there's many where I felt out of touch
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
both of my cultures, and even up till now, I think I'm still like severely out of touch with the both of
Yeah.
them, and it makes me really like. I don't know. It makes me really sad, like the fact that it's not even that I'm like one more than the other. It's more like I'm just not any of them at all. I was watching, like, what do you call it? Oh my gosh. I think this is the whole reason I wanted to do this specific episode was after watching In the Heights.
This is why you did this. You told me about this.
Yeah, so after watching In the Heights, with
Shut up.
my Hispanic side of the family, I was at my cousin's that week. So I was with my Hispanic side of the family, we were watching and stuff like that, and like watching In the Heights. I don't know, something about like the atmosphere or something. Just it made me like really upset that like I really know like nothing about my culture, or at least my Hispanic side of the culture. Like I'm nowhere in touch with it, like at all.
Mhm.
I don't talk to my Hispanic side of the family that much. And even here, even though my dad grew up in Venezuela, you think like, oh, like you have some like kind of Hispanic something. I don't know, it's something over there is
Mhm.
Hispanic going on. You know what I mean? But it's like it's
Yeah.
nothing, and it's not even like anything here is going on Asian either. And it makes me feel like I'm not Asian or I'm not Hispanic because I don't like, I don't follow exactly in these cultures. I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak Chinese. I wear shoes in the house, which I feel
Ew.
like if I told that to any Asian, they'd be like, "Are you even Asian?"
Well, you
And
don't
then,
wear it in your room.
Sometimes I do. It depends on what I'm doing, but I try to not wear it in my room because I don't know. I feel like the dirt, like because I have carpet and
Right.
dirt and stuff like that. My dad wears his shoes everywhere. He do not care. I have to be the one to tell him to take off his shoes because why do you have your shoes on after like 5 hours of being in the living room just watching TV? Like, what are you doing, dude?
I have a question.
So
for you.
weird
Yeah.
you
for people
think,
to like. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do you think like the thing about mixed people not being Asian enough, do you think that stems from Asian stereotypes?
Oh,
Like, because
so
I think
much.
because wearing shoes in the house is like an Asian, like a stereotype. Like, oh, Asians don't wear shoes in the house. You know.
But I mean, I've met a lot of people who aren't Asian
Yeah,
that just
I've
don't wear
met,
shoes in
like-
the house.
I feel like everybody doesn't wear shoes. Like, I don't know that many people that wear shoes in their house.
Mhm.
I feel like it somehow just became a thing that, oh, Asian people don't wear shoes in the house. Or
Right.
like Asian people do this and Asian people do that. And I think that affects us as biracial half Asian people
Mhm.
because one of those things doesn't apply to you and then you feel less Asian because you don't fit the stereotype.
I think one of the big things about that is I feel like a lot of times why I think many people think I'm white, not only just because I wear shoes in the house, which is considered very Americanized, it's also just because of the structure of my face and how many people like to stereotype East Asians specifically with like a specific face. Like, you know how they say like,
Yeah.
oh, all Asians look the same. And because I don't exactly fit with that all Asians look the same stereotype, a lot of people like to think I'm white because I have a nose bridge, I have double eyelids, or I don't have monolids. And it just things like that, you know. And it makes me feel like, wow, I'm really not Asian because I don't even look Asian.
Yeah, I feel that.
And then same thing with being Hispanic, because I mean, I don't know, Hispanic people come in like all sorts of shapes and colors. Like you can look at anybody and be like, that's Hispanic.
Because like, I hate that people will like group Hispanic people into one, like, you have to look like this to be Hispanic, because there's Afro-Latinos. Like, a close friend of mine, her dad is Afro-Latino. He's Colombian, but he's just darker skinned. And it's like, that's like in Colombia, there's a lot of Afro-Latinos as well. Like, I know, and like almost every Latin American like someone from Mexico, it doesn't look the same as someone from like Argentina. Like a lot of people in Argentina have blonde hair.
It's not a monolith.
Yeah. And like, I hate that people group like Hispanic people into one thing, that you have to look like this or you're not Hispanic, you know?
Exactly. I feel like a Hispanic stereotype, like at least for women, would be like all like tan skin, like a big ass, like a big ass and some.
That's true though. That's true though.
But
you don't have that, Alexia.
I don't, unfortunately. And then every single time my cousin is like, oh my god, we were trying to fit through a fence, and she was like, oh my big Colombian ass can't fit through this, and I was like, she did. And I'm like trying, and like I fit through perfectly, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, am I not Colombian now? There's a thing where it's like Colombians are really loud people, and I at least fit into that.
Oh, she's loud, all right, guys.
Yeah.
But anyways, I wanted to ask like a continuation of this question. Do you guys like blame yourself for not fitting into like your culture? Like,
I blame my parents.
Yeah, I'm like, sometimes like I get me venting. I feel like really upset. Like, I'm like, why did you guys have to meet? Like, why did I have to be born like this? You would have solved me so many problems. Would have solved me so many problems if my mom just stayed in the Philippines and married
Richard's just like, I'm sorry.
God. Why did y'all have to meet on Yahoo, bro?
Really?
Like, just on Yahoo?
Yeah, on Yahoo.
You're kidding! Oh my god,
like
that's serious.
I'll talk. They're like this. They were like 2001 Yubo couples. Like,
that's hilarious.
They're like Discord couple.
Ew! Oh my god! No.
Oh my god!
I don't blame like my parents for meeting. I blame them for not teaching me about my culture. Like, I blame my dad for not putting me in Chinese school and
I feel like I was my mom somewhat for not teaching me Tagalog, but I'll get into that because there's a question like, I think there's a question that kind of. Oh no, just kidding. There's actually this one. Oops. So I feel like relating to like the first question, was there ever a moment where you felt out of touch with your culture? I feel like not knowing my native language brings me like, I don't know, it makes me feel really out of touch with being Filipino, because I'll see Filipino people that can speak like good Tagalog that were born here, and I can't, like, and it kind of hurts my feelings because, like, I mean, to be honest, I don't really have much of a culture on my white side. I mean, we have country music and Mexican salad.
That's Mexican salad.
And meatloaf.
Ew.
What even is meatloaf?
That's a good
it's
question.
Just meat in a loaf.
Yeah, it's true.
I heard that they put ketchup on it.
They do put ketchup.
Not ketchup.
No. That's a no. That's a no.
The context. Alex hates ketchup.
Oh my god, ew.
And she hates pudding.
She does not hate pudding.
I love pudding.
She hates the texture.
She gags on pudding.
I can't eat pudding.
Ew.
Okay,
but I really love
like
pudding.
Texture?
We will have an episode about food.
We will. Shut up.
Okay.
Are you hungry or something?
I don't know. But
you guys getting fed?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah,
same about that.
Same.
But backing
like,
off of
relates to that, like the Tagalog. What were you saying?
Who's saying?
You,
Kenneth.
Alexia.
Oh, I thought Kenneth was saying something.
Backing off of Savannah, like not knowing your language and then seeing other people who are, or at least for me, like seeing other people who are Chinese and like speaking like fluent Chinese to their parents. It's like, I wish I could do that.
See, I have
Yeah, or like
there's a thing about that though. It's because we, or at least most of us, are first generation.
yeah.
So
I'm like technically half first generation. So
right, but the thing is that for whatever reason, because they
parents, like,
they yeah, because they learned English, what my parents told me is they didn't teach me that because they didn't want me to be confused, which makes no sense. First of all, babies learn languages really quickly, like when you're really young, so I would have had no problem. If I didn't speak any English and you threw me in kindergarten, yeah, I might have like flunked a grade, but like I probably would have learned anyway. No, I would have been fine. I mean, a lot of people are fine. Like some first generation parents, um, they teach their kids the language and they you know they don't flunk. They don't. Everything turns out fine.
It's like for Annie. Annie's my little sister, by the way, and she was born here, so she was born when we were in America. So we were struggling to see if we wanted to like teach her Vietnamese or not. Because we didn't want her to be like confused, like because it's harder to like for a child to like learn two languages simultaneously.
Yeah.
But when we taught her Vietnamese, and like it really allows her to communicate with like our grandparents and like our relatives in Vietnam, which like helps connect her to our culture, even though she wasn't born in Vietnam.
Right. Which is, I feel like teaching, like if you're, what do you call it, bilingual or multilingual, I feel like it's, or was it polylingual? I feel like it's a very good thing to teach your kids your language. I seriously could have been trilingual, and it makes me so frustrated of the fact that I'm not, because oh my god, imagine the amount of jobs I could get as like a translator because I'm trilingual. See?
You can be
especially
like,
where we live is being so diverse. Like there's so many jobs that need translators. And like another thing that makes me upset that I wasn't taught my native language is now my children are going to be void of their culture too, because I know almost next to nothing about like,
unless you marry somebody who's Filipino.
You know, kind of funny story. When I was 6, I had like this mentality that I was like, Savannah, if you don't marry a Filipino, your freaking blood is gonna get washed out and there's gonna be a Filipino in your blood. And I was like, you have to marry a Filipino man. I don't know that mindset anymore, but it was just like that's what I had in my head as a child. But yeah, like if I have children, I can't teach them Tagalog myself, you know, or Tabacano or whatever. Exactly. So they're gonna be like, for like my whole bloodline after this is gonna be like, you know, void of their culture because they're missing like that core part of that like cultural experience.
Right. I can't agree. I can't really. I'm the end of my bloodline. I'm not having kids. Oh my gosh.
Ending the bloodline here.
I'm ending the bloodline right here and now.
Your sisters. Your sisters.
Oh, right, my sister. I mean, my sisters, we're all the same. We're all half sisters, but we're all Asian and Hispanic. Like we're all Chinese, or no. Oh my god, I have 5 siblings. And they're just all Asian Hispanic. I don't know what's wrong with my mom and my dad. They just really, they just
have
really,
types.
They do have types.
They do have types. Yep.
But they're all Asian and Hispanic, and they all have never learned. Well, 2 of my siblings are Filipino Colombian, so they never learned Spanish, and I don't think they're teaching. I don't think they're teaching them Tagalog. And then my 2 other sisters, one is Mexican Chinese, and then the other one is Guatemalan Chinese. My oldest sister, who's Guatemalan Chinese, she knows like she tries really hard. Like it's almost cringy hard how she tries to speak Spanish. It's really bad, but she's trying. She's trying her best.
She's trying her best.
She's trying her best. And then my youngest, who's Chinese Mexican. She's actually enrolled in a Chinese program. However, she doesn't speak our dialect, which is Cantonese. She's speaking Mandarin, but I think that's still good because Mandarin is more widely spoken than Cantonese. It makes me a little jealous though, because I was supposed to be enrolled in a Chinese school, but like because my popo or my grandma really wanted me to be enrolled in a Chinese school so I can learn Chinese, and it never ended up happening. And then same thing with like I never learned Spanish and stuff like that, and it makes me mad. It makes me really jealous that my little sister can learn Chinese, but I could always learn. I could any day I could just pick up a Chinese book and just start learning. I know my numbers. It's really hard to learn Chinese.
Yeah,
and it's really hard to learn Chinese
because
Chinese
like
is really fucking hard. I don't know what's wrong with Chinese.
Because like us having spoken English since being like babies, it's hard to break that habit. Like when I speak Tagalog, I have like my accent is decent. Like I don't sound like super English, but it's not, you can tell that it's not like that I wasn't taught it young. Like you can tell that I'm speaking it like as a 16-year-old who was just taught this word. But yeah, Sav, what do you think? What about you?
I feel like my experience as a biracial person is like a lot different from you guys. Because like on one hand, like I'm white, like what's the fucking culture outside of like Italian food? Like, and then on the other hand, I'm African American, which like a lot of African American culture is like basically watered down into being quote unquote American culture.
Oh, that's true.
So
yeah.
So like my whole life, I've just felt like I don't have a very strong cultural bond to anything, right? Especially when I was younger, like literally anything that like made me black, anything that made me different from the white kids, I hated about myself for a very long time. Like when I was little, my mom worked and my dad, after being like stationed in Iraq, he was home for a really long time, not working. So he got me ready for school. And my white father let me go to school with my hair looking a mess. I look like a ghetto black child every day. My dad didn't know how to do my hair, like at all. So I would like go to school looking a mess every day. And like that literally just made me like hate myself as a kid. Which like sounds really depressing, but like, oh well, over it now. It's fine. But like I would like cry to my mom every day. I'm just like, get my hair relaxed. I hate having curly hair. I hate looking like this. I don't want to be black.
Oh my God,
and I would like cry to my mom all the time. And like she never let me. Like she never let me get my hair relaxed or anything. But then my dad started working overseas again. So I didn't really see him a lot, and I didn't see my white family a lot. So I've just been surrounded by my black family for my whole life. So I guess the only culture I really have is my black family. And I always see myself as like, I'm like visibly black, right? Like nobody has ever come up to me and said I'm white. Nobody ever assumes
that would be
that.
embarrassing if someone
That would
did.
be really embarrassing.
Right? Like I'm not white passing in the slightest. But like, so I don't really have any ties to be. I feel like the only thing that makes me quote unquote white is like, I guess I'm light skinned, and that's like it. I don't really have any ties to whiteness, and I've never like experienced privilege as a white person. So my dad thinks I'm like, I hate being white. But yeah, I don't hate being white. I just think that like there's a lot of experiences that I've had that if I were not white, I wouldn't have. Like I've had family members call me racial slurs. You know,
yes.
like
Oh my God. Yeah, we'll talk about that because there's a question that says about family, and I have things to say. So
yeah, but like it's not that I hate being white. I do like I know as a light skinned person, like I have a lot of privilege, but Yeah. So, like, as a light skinned person, I have a lot of privilege, but I don't think I have white privilege in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, next question. This is related. Is it hard to fit in simultaneously with all of your cultures?
I think personally, to me, yeah, because we also talked about this in episode 1. Guys,
Oh
go
my
watch
god.
it.
My God.
We talked
I
about
remember
episode
that.
1 in like 4 times
You
already.
only talk about episode 1.
We also have 5 other episodes before this that you should also watch.
Oh my
But
gosh.
we talked about, like, why do I sound like I'm gonna cry? I'm not gonna cry. But not right now.
I hope not.
Maybe later. Maybe
Oh my
later.
gosh.
But we talked about like identity, like how much you relate to one side more than the other. And I feel like it's easier, I guess, for me to fit in with my Filipino side because I'm around more like also Filipino people, you know. Like I know a lot of Filipino people like Kenneth, and I know a couple like some mixed Filipino people. So it's easier for me to fit in like with that side, I guess. But at the same time, like I feel like I thought about the question wrong. I'm rethinking it.
It's okay. It's okay.
I think I interpreted it wrong. Oops. But like at the same time, it's hard because you know I'm like in the middle because like one side of my family I'm not Asian enough, and the other side of my family I'm not white enough. And the white side of my family is a big problem, but we'll talk about that in the next question.
Oh my gosh, this question right here, because again, there's I have my Chinese side and then I have my Colombian side, Hispanic side. They're just for some reason they're both extremely different. Like both my families and both of those cultures just for some reason are extremely different. Like I know they have a lot of similarities, but for some reason when you look at like if you're looking at stereotypes and you're looking at an Asian person and you're looking at a Hispanic person, for some reason it's just vastly different. And it's really hard for me to just be both things at once. There are many things in like my own identity that are just two or more things, and I feel like wanting to simultaneously be all these things, I have to prove myself constantly. I have to
That's
constantly prove myself for each culture. Okay, I don't speak Chinese, so I guess I don't hold up, Asian traditions. I must not be Asian enough, right? I don't speak Spanish, so I must, and I don't hold up like Hispanic traditions, so I must not be Hispanic. And with both of these things, I just have to like keep proving that I'm Asian or keep proving that I'm Hispanic. Like maybe I'll just say something like that's in Spanish in like a way more Hispanic way rather than a white way, and that's just me like really trying to prove that I'm Hispanic, or I'll just do things that are really Asian. I don't even know what that means, but I'll just do things like that just to prove that I'm Asian. And I don't know, it really hurts that I have to prove myself like every constant minute with anything and everything. Oh my god, I can use this example with so many things. I'm bisexual, right? But I have to prove myself every single time I want people to know that I'm into women. But everybody, because I look feminine looking, everybody only thinks that I'm into men, but I have to prove that I'm into women. So I try really hard to like, I don't know, like show I'm into women.
gay.
Same thing
Yeah.
about being gender fluid, because I'm very much like very feminine looking. I have to really, really try very hard to prove myself into looking masculine looking, so people will like finally, I don't know, like perceive that I'm gender fluid. Like I'm trying so hard to be all these things at once, and it really hurts that I have to prove everything because no one wants to like see me as I fully am. Because if I just present myself, everybody's going to be like, oh, Asian girl, probably straight, which is that's like the half of it. Stop seeing the half of it.
Assumptions about people, guys.
Exactly.
Especially with mixed people, because I think a lot of mixed people struggle with having to prove themselves all the time. Like, I know in my head that I'm never gonna feel Filipino enough to be accepted like fully by my other family, because a part of them is always gonna like, I don't know, I feel like I'm never gonna fit in fully with my cousins on either side. And one side of the family, I don't even think they like me.
Oh no.
But we'll get into that in the next question.
This is kind of, well, I don't have any place to like, say any, like, because I don't have any experience in it, but do you guys think the reason why it's so hard for you guys to like fit into your culture is because of your family members? Because I feel like they will play a big part on it.
I mean, like, yes and no. Like, my Filipino family is really accepting of me, and they're really good to me. Like, they've always been really nice to me. My wife's side of the family, but like, I kind of blame more on society and stereotypes and the people's judgments of me, because I tell someone I'm white and then they refuse to see me as Filipino. And it's hurtful because that's a big part of who I am. But it's like, what can I do? I can't do anything about it.
Right. I also don't think it's anyway. I mean, my mom's not even in my life, so she's not gonna do shit. But my dad, he's accepting of everybody. Like, I think this man just does not care. This man does not care at all. I know, right? King shit.
My bestie.
Oh my gosh. But he doesn't care at all. I really think it's mostly just because of all the stereotypes that people put. And you kind of really can't put your foot into two stereotypes at once.
Yeah,
it's
you
really
just can't
hard.
exist peacefully as a mixed person.
No, you can't. You can't.
True.
You really can't.
Really can't.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Everyone always has something to say all the time.
Everybody always has something to say. Like you do anything and they're like, oh, you're not blank enough.
I've had people argue with each other on what race I am.
Yes. Why is that a thing? Oh my god.
And like,
oh my god. Oh, I have a story about that.
One time somebody bet like 50 cents on whether I was Filipino or not. Like what? They literally did. It was in my 7th grade history class. We were doing stations and these two dudes dead ass just stood up and one of them was like, Savannah, are you Filipino? And I was like, yeah. And the other guy was like, I thought she was Mexican. And then they were like,
I'm so sorry. I thought you were Hispanic too. When I first met you, I thought
everybody always thinks I'm Hispanic as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I just thought you were black.
That Savannah was Hispanic.
Yeah, a lot of people think I'm Hispanic, which I guess makes sense because Filipino people are kind of like they have a lot of Hispanic influence, and I guess I kind of look Hispanic too. But I mean, I just correct them, and then it just kind of sucks when they like continue to refer to me as Hispanic or even just refer to me as just white. Like I said earlier, it's annoying. Like this one person was, I think, talking to Trang and referred to me as Savannah, the white one.
But you both
like I am half white, but it's like
I was like, are you talking about
why are you erasing like the other side of my culture?
Yeah.
Like you could have just said Savannah.
I had a friend. Her name's Ryan, and she's Blasian, so she's Black and Korean, right? And we had this mutual friend who is not our friend anymore. And when Ryan said that, oh yeah, I'm half Korean, that girl didn't believe Ryan, and it was like a big fight of her saying that Ryan was Asian fishing because she didn't believe that Ryan was Korean.
Bro,
they were like trying to like insinuate that she was like just a Korea boo who was like lying about being Korean.
I actually had that like done to me once, which I don't. It boggles my mind. At least now, like I think I look Asian. I feel like I look a little Asian. Like I feel like if you look at me, you could at least be like, oh yeah.
I knew you were
a little bit Asian.
I knew you were Asian, but I thought you were probably mixed with like something.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah,
who just
I thought you were like Asian.
I did think you were Asian.
No, not even just like white and Asian. There's people that just think I'm just white, and I don't know.
Bro,
I don't know how you
I don't see that. I don't see that.
So I was talking to a friend. I literally forgot where we were. We had to be at like a cafeteria or something. It was quite a while ago, and we were talking about like utensils. And I was like, oh yeah, I really like just eating with chopsticks because I don't know. I just feel like it's more natural and easier for me since I kind of grew up all my life living like eating with chopsticks. Some white girl, okay, let this be known, this was a white girl,
Here come the
turns
white
and was like, ew, what are you, like a Korea boo? I'm literally
Girl.
Chinese. I don't.
No,
what?
but that's problematic in itself. Because, like, are you saying that like
Only
Korean
Koreans?
people use
Yeah.
chopsticks?
It was really weird. It was weird
I
and
guess
embarrassing at the same time.
I guess I'm Korean then. Jesus.
Right? It was
Every
weird
Asian
and
people just like, oh, okay.
We just all
I'm
morph
dropping these.
we just morph into one person. We make like a super Asian.
Super.
super Asian.
But yeah, it was extremely weird.
Yeah, I've had people go years referring to me as Hispanic after like telling them multiple times that like, no, I'm black and I'm white. I'm not Hispanic at all.
At that
And
point,
they're like, yeah. Oh, I had a friend who would like I would get a ride to school with her like in the morning normally, and because she said that her grandpa was so violently racist that she had to lie to him and say that I was Hispanic.
God, I know who that is.
Yeah,
that's
like
horrible.
Like this girl's whole family just assumed that I was Hispanic, and every time I went over, they would like ask me questions, like ask me to speak Spanish and shit, and I was just like, I was just like, why? I was scared of getting kicked out of her house, like. Yeah, it was like bad.
Oh, there was this girl that was like blatantly racist to Savannah. If I remember correctly, it was her birthday, and then she was like, my dad said you're black, so we can't hang out."
Oh my gosh, she told me that. Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me
that. For the podcast, the people who like don't know the situation, I invited a friend to go to the mall with me, and it was gonna be like me, her, and a few other friends. Just wanted to go shopping. This was for my 14th birthday, I think.
So that's not that long ago. Wow.
Yeah, it was not long ago at all. But she like had told me she was gonna come, and then I'm on the way there. I'm like 5 minutes away, and then she calls me. I'm in the car with my mom, super excited because I just turned 14. Yada yada yada. And then she's like, yeah, like casual as hell. She's just like, oh, my dad said because you're black, I can't go to the mall with you. He thinks you're gonna steal something. He thinks you're gonna steal something, and I can't be like around somebody who steals.
God.
And I was just like, hold up. One, fuck you. Yeah, I was like literally there, like holding in tears, and my mom was there. It was like so bad. I was just like, okay, I'm sorry you couldn't make it.
Wow.
No, but the main thing that like got me upset was she's black.
Yeah.
Oh, what? That just makes no sense now.
Because like, okay, there's like a thing where like some African American people dislike African people, and some African people dislike African American people.
Oh yeah, I've heard about
that. So the thing was like, because I'm African American, oh, I'm ghetto and I'm gonna steal something. Like that was the thing.
What?
Oh.
Which doesn't make it any better, because she was like laughing about it. She was like giggling about it and thought it was like funny, and I was like, okay, it's not funny. I literally want to cry, but.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But talking about family.
Right. Well, do we want to do this question? I feel like we already spoke a lot about that.
No, I would definitely
Savannah has stuff to say.
Savannah has some, okay.
We have. I think our half white folks have a lot to say.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So then this next question is a kicker. Does being multiracial affect how you are with the different sides of your family members?
Yes. Very much so.
You want to go first?
Yes, I would very much love
go
to.
ahead.
So, as much as I hate to admit it, I would say a good majority of my dad's side of the family is racist. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That's fun.
It really, really hurts my feelings because it's my family, and I know that they're never going to accept me for who I am. Like, my dad isn't racist. My great aunt accepts me. You know what? That in itself is really sad. Like, having to talk about your family accepting you for being born.
Yeah.
I didn't ask to, I didn't
Yeah.
ask for this. I say this all the time, like I never asked to be white and Asian. I was born like it was my parents' decision. I never asked to be like this. But yet they like treat me like I'm, like they obviously treat me different because of being half Filipino. And the way they treat my mom, like I remember it was Thanksgiving one time and they were playing volleyball like outside and my mom was playing with them. And a family member of mine told my mom, he was like, "You're not even a part of this family. You don't belong here." And then my mom seemed to like, I don't know if she was actually hurt by it or she was trying to hide it or if she like didn't take offense to it or something. But like she told my great aunt about it and my great aunt was like, "Oh hell no." She was like, I'm going to call him up and we're going to have problems and we're going to talk about it. And it's just like I feel like I've never fit in with my cousins on that side because I feel like they're also they are also racist because I've heard several of them say the N-word before.
Bro,
and they're not mixed. They're not like me. They're fully white. They're like fully white. And I know like it's weird because like Thanksgiving I just kind of sit with the adults because like I guess they're the most accepting of me. I don't know how they are on the inside, quote unquote accepting of me. I don't know what they really. I'm sure they're not happy that a Filipino has overtook their bloodline or something. They're always gonna have Filipino blood.
You're really his cousin watching the video, and they're like, "I know she did not just say that."
Oh my god! Just like a flood
I'll see
of
you
hate
this
comments.
Thanksgiving.
I can't show my mom this episode.
But yeah, it's just like I mean, it's hurtful because it's family, it's blood. Like we're related by blood, and you don't like me because of something I can't help. And like I don't know. I'm sure my mom's been called a slur. Like I don't know if she has, but I'm sure. I would assume. And I mean, like, I guess I never thought much about it when I was younger, but like sometimes I'll look at pictures of like all of us together, and I'll think like, man, Savannah, look how different you are from all of them. Like you're not you. And it's just me and my mom that are like the outs. Like yeah, they're like we're like the only ones with melanin and everyone else is white and we're like I'm like, man, like
it's like the exact opposite for me in my Hispanic family. Like I look at a picture and it's like, oh my god, everybody just looks Hispanic. And then you got that like one little Asian girl that's just like sitting there. And my mom doesn't live here, so it's not like, and my mom doesn't even look like me anyways. There's people who go up to my mom, like multiple. I'm not even talking like one person. Like if it was one person, I'd be like, okay. I'm saying like there's multiple people who have went up to my mom. Let me give a description of how my mom looks. Blonde hair, and she just looks white, but she looks like she's Colombian. She looks Colombian, but blonde, looks nothing like me. Absolutely nothing like me. And she's had people come up to her and be like, "Oh, so what like Chinese orphanage did you get your daughter at?
Where did you buy
Oh my god!
Where did you get that thing?
Where did you get that thing? I would like to order one.
How much was it?
Okay.
Oh my
Order
god.
one. Jesus.
Order
It's
one.
taking a huge turn.
Every single time my mom gets asked that question, it's like, nope, came out of my vagina.
Oh my god.
15, it was like 13 hours of labor for that thing. And I was like, okay, thanks.
For that thing.
For that thing.
That little thing over there.
But whenever I'm with my Hispanic side of like all of my cousins, right? So I have like my Asian side, and I only have like 2 cousins with my Asian side. Again, with the stereotyping, I'm so sorry. They're Vietnamese, Chinese. So they're just Asian, right? Super smart. They're like saints. They're saints, super smart. And I don't know. Something with me and just not being smart and not being very studious and not being like many, like after school type of things. It like I just don't kind of click with them. And then my Hispanic side of the family, I only have 2 cousins. Oh my gosh, I really only have 2 cousins. No, I do have multiple. I had a full Colombian cousin that my mom went to Colombia, and she was like, "Oh, you should meet your cousin." This cousin doesn't speak English, just has only lived in Colombia. And my mom was like, "Oh, I expect you to like bond or something," even though there's like a huge language barrier there.
Dog, we can't even speak.
I know. And then you just see, yeah, I don't know. You just see, not normal. I don't even know how to describe this, but it was so weird meeting her because again, little Asian thing sitting in a room with like purple lights flashing. I'm playing a game, and then you have this like super Hispanic, like 17-year-old girl just sitting there like trying to like speak Spanish. And I was like, I can't understand. It's so different. It's so different. We're not gonna have any of the same like interests. At least now with my Hispanic side, it's a little bit more forgiving because now I have a cousin who's like into anime and manga and stuff like that. So, we get to bond over those types of things. But whenever I look at like family pictures, it feels so isolating to know that I'm the only Asian person there. I'm the only Asian looking person there. If I go to like a restaurant with my tia and my cousins, they're gonna think I'm like my cousin's friend or something. They're not gonna think I'm cousins with them. They're not gonna think I'm part of the family. And it makes me feel so much, like very out of the family. Also because, my mom isn't here for me to directly connect with my family. So, I only have my dad. And my dad is on really good terms with, like my Hispanic side of the family, everything like that. But other than that, it's really, I feel so isolated from them. And it hurts a lot, to be isolated from your family because I feel like at least one of my values has to be family. It's a very big value of mine to be close to your family and, things like that. I'd never want to like have drama, but I hear people who have like drama with their cousins and stuff like that. Oh my God, I would hate that. I would hate to have drama with my family, even though my Hispanic side of the family. Oh my God. I feel like it's just Hispanic people that they just love having drama in their family.
Dog.
I don't know what's wrong with these motherfuckers. They just have so much drama. Like my Chinese side of the family, a little bit, like, they don't like each other, but, like, it's very tame. It's so tame. But if that was with my Hispanic family, they just start fighting. They would, like, they just start fighting. They don't care who it is. They just start fighting.
That's true, though, about, like feeling isolated because one side of my family doesn't like me, and the other side of the family that does like me lives thousands of miles away on the other side of the world that I haven't seen since I was 6. And I only get to say hello. I literally only get to say like hi through a video call. Like that's it. And then I worry too because my grandma's getting old,
Right.
Like my Lola, she's getting old. And I haven't seen her since I was 6. It's been like 10 years. I'm 16 now. It has been 10 years. The last time I went was July of like 2012. This is the 10th year I have not been here. Yeah, and it's just like I'm not poor, but I can't really we can't afford to go over there like yearly like some people can. So I haven't seen them in really long. So there's a big disconnect between me and them, and plus like they're kind of like I don't want to say they're poor, but they're not like they don't live in a really good part of the Philippines. Like a lot of people assume like the Philippines, everyone's like dirt poor, but Manila, Cebu, those are big, like bustling cities, and like they just live in like not really the countryside, but it's like a small town, and they don't really have like a means of communicating. So I don't even get to talk to them myself. Like I can really only talk to them through my mom, like when she video calls them. That's it. So I'm disconnected from both sides of my culture. So it's like I can't do anything about it, Maybe when I'm 18, I can like get on a plane and see my family.
Talking about like overseas family, I actually very recently found out I have way more than 2 Asian cousins, like way more. I have like so many overseas family. The thing is that some of them are in Venezuela, some of them are in Hong Kong. One of them is in Thailand, either Thailand or Taiwan. I think he's in Thailand. I have an uncle that's in Thailand. And like it boggles my mind how I'm only just knowing that I have like a whole entire like I actually have like a big family because all this time I'm thinking like, wow, like I see all these people with like so many cousins, so many uncles and aunts. Like I have one of my friends, she's Vietnamese. She has like fucking 19 aunts or something like that. I was
Dang.
like, oh my
Yeah.
90
god.
aunts from one
Oh,
That's
side of the
crazy.
family?
Aunts
I
and
have
uncles,
like
just aunts and uncles, but like a
Oh, okay.
bunch. And like oh my god, I could never.
that's
I
crazy.
have
How
I
like
many
have
do
like
I have? I
I
have
have like
9.
2.
7th grade aunt.
9? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my mom has
Oh,
5
I have like
siblings, and my dad has 2.
Oh my
I think
god.
I think I have 9 too.
What?
Yeah. 9
Wait.
aunts and uncles. 6 on my well, it would be 7, but one of them passed away, and I never met him. But it's like, I never met him.
Trang, how many aunts and uncles do you have?
We call them aunts and uncle, but they're my great aunts and uncles because my mom doesn't have any siblings, but my grandma, she had 8 younger siblings, and then my
Jesus.
grandpa, he has 11 siblings, and I think like
Oh my
5 of
gosh.
them
11?
died.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
And
god.
it's to the point where when I do go back to Vietnam and I greet them, I don't remember their names because I'm like, there's
Oh
too
my
many.
god.
You have to be
Oh my
greeting them for like 20
gosh.
years.
Yeah.
No,
Hi,
and
auntie. Hi, uncle. Hi, auntie. Hi, uncle. Hi, auntie.
no, literally, I get them all in one big group, and I do like a
A group
Like a
hello.
hey,
like a
just like a
group
group
hello
hello.
because there's so many of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Sad. What about you?
Oh, um,
wait, didn't you just say?
no,
No,
I
I mean
didn't
like
talk
about like because I know
The
like
aunts
you
and
said
uncles?
previously that you have been called slurs by your own family, which
Oh,
We're still on
okay.
forgot
I'm
about that.
sure I have too.
So, I remember like talking about that specifically, like being called slurs. I wasn't called a slur. My mom was.
Oh,
So
okay.
I remember one time I like had asked my dad. I was like, "How come we never talk to like your side of the family? Like, because we don't see them like at
Mhm.
all. They live up north or whatever, and we just don't communicate with them." And I was like, "How come like we never speak to them?" He's like, "Because I refuse to talk to my brother after what he said to your mom." And I was like, "Hold up. What did he say to
Pause.
mom?" I was like, wait, quick pause. And then he was just
What's
like,
the tea?
he called her the N-word, like to her face.
Oh my gosh.
And like nobody in my family talks to this man anymore. And like he'll send letters and he's like sent me and my brother money. But like we know that
Now you take that money
like
and go.
yeah,
You don't
I
even
took
say
that
thank
money.
you.
I took that birthday money, but like I don't know. I always feel like because I talk to his children,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I don't know how you could like be okay with that and stuff. And that's how like you really know who like sees you as family and stuff because how are you gonna like defend somebody who's said that about my family, who's supposed to be your family as well? You know? Like I'm very lucky to I have like mixed family members. I like me and my brother are mixed, and then I have like 4 cousins who are also mixed black and white. So like we all look like siblings, but yeah. So like they understand, and my black cousins understand, but then my few white cousins they just don't get it, and they try to like diminish all of my experiences and stuff like that, and like I always feel like so disconnected from that side of my family. And sometimes I feel bad for my dad because as a result of that, he's like disconnected himself from that part of his family as
Yeah,
well.
that's true. Mine too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like honestly, who gives a shit? Like if you're gonna be racist, I don't want you to be my family. I don't
For
know.
real.
But yeah, like on my black side of my family, nobody really cares. Like it's not really a big deal. People are just like the most like disconnect I get is like people calling me light bright or an Oreo,
People calling you what?
stuff like
Oh.
that. Oh, light bright because I'm light skinned.
Oh.
Just like
Oh.
jokes about being light skinned. That's like it.
Mhm.
But like yeah, so that's like not really a big deal. I don't really like feel that bad. And I also see my family a lot. Like I saw 5 of my cousins today and I see them like every day. So
Okay, so speaking of which, do you guys have a preference over one of your cultures?
I
Do
would
you think
say
you have a preference?
Do you, or at least do you think you have a preference?
yeah, because one of my cultures is racist.
That's why I
Yeah, I
meant
feel
like
like me and Savannah's
I
are
don't know if
very
that's a
obvious.
thing. I'm pretty sure you know.
Yeah, I know. I definitely
I feel like it's a little different for me.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
different for you because I don't think they're that racist to you, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Yeah, that
God
is
they're
very
not
good.
racist to me. But I feel like I do have a preference over like being Asian just because I look Asian and because I've grown up with an Asian man in my home.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
But
your roommate.
yeah, my
Yeah.
roommate, aka my father. Because I don't know, it's kind of grown up like that. And
Yeah.
so here's a nice little story. So when I was in 5th grade, right, I was not around a bunch of white people. I was mostly around like, like a lot of Hispanic and black people because that's the majority of people that went to my school. But for some reason it was really trendy to be white and really trendy to just not be Asian because there was not I mean there was Asians, but for some reason I just thought being Asian is a no-no. No, I don't want to be Asian. So I would literally just denounce my Asianness when I was in elementary school and I'd be like, "Oh, like Lele Pons." How, like
I'm
every second she has to tell you that she's Latina. That was basically me in elementary. And I
Oh
kind of
my
play it off
God.
like, oh my God, like I don't see it that much. Like, I don't see it that much. But I did say it a lot. And I try to like force it down people's stomachs that I was Hispanic. And like I wanted to make sure you knew I was Hispanic. Like, oh yeah, I'm Asian, but I'm also Hispanic. Like, my mom is Colombian, like blah, 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 blah. And then at some point, like I was like really confused because I didn't want to be white anymore. I didn't want to act white anymore. I didn't want to be white and Hispanic anymore. Okay. I wanted to just be something. So I got into K-pop in 7th or 8th grade, and that's when it hit me. I was like, I love being Asian. Oh my God, I hit my microphone. It's like, oh my God, I love being Asian, even though these are Korean people and I'm not even Korean. So then I had a moment where I was like, wow, for all those years that I just really hated being Asian, now I have to like full power make sure everybody knows I'm Asian now.
Super Asian.
So super Asian. So for I think majority of my freshman, even to sophomore year, I wouldn't say I was a Korea boo, but I think I was trying really hard to be Asian. I just tried really hard to be Asian because I would just try really hard to be Asian.
Or at least just establish the fact that you were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
I feel like I have to do that too. Like, I think I went through one of those phases. Like, I hate to admit it, but when I was younger, and sometimes even now, I get like ashamed because my mom is from the Philippines, like, and moved here when she met my dad because she moved here because they were gonna get married. So she moved here in like I want to say 2004, I think. And so she has a Filipino accent, like I have not like super heavy, but it's pretty like, it's there. But like when I was younger, I would get really ashamed of like her broken English, like in places when she would talk like to cashiers and like stuff like that. I would get really, I
Me
would get really,
too.
yeah, I would get really embarrassed of her, and I would try to like, I wanted to be white so bad. Like I just wished every day I was like, please make me fully white. Like I can't.
Oh my gosh, no.
I was like, I can't keep living like this. I want to wake up with blue eyes one day, bro.
Oh, no, for real though. I was like, goddamn. Imagine if I was white.
Yeah, I was like,
I remember
please, just give
thinking
me a
like,
chance.
I don't want to.
like
I
every,
That was me too.
Yeah,
That
I
was me
think
too for a
every
long
mix.
time.
I feel
Was
like
being white like a phase?
I think every person of
Like
color in general went
every
through a
person of
phase like
color
that.
wanted
Yeah.
to be white at least
Not even
once
just
in their
mixed,
life.
but like as
Okay,
I got
Kenneth,
Yeah.
older,
but like
yeah,
I
like
think
as I
that
got
if
older,
you're like specifically mixed with white, like, because I would see my cousins and I'm just like, their hair isn't messy like mine. Like, they get to just like wake up, put their hair in a ponytail, and go to school, like, and nobody messes with them. But like, I get up and I have to do all this extra work and still get made fun of for it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I guess because of our proximity to whiteness, it makes it a lot more noticeable, like the things that you want to attain, because you're surrounded by it, basically.
Yeah. And I think like the same thing with Alex as I got older, like people started doing the thing that I hate most is just referring, like I began to be comfortable more with my Filipino side because I started to be surrounded by more Filipino people, like again, like Kenneth and like other people. So I was more comfortable with being Asian and also white, but a lot of people refused to see me as Asian. So I started to get to where I had to let everybody and their mom know that I'm half Filipino, but I'm also half white. Surprise, guys, it happens.
Oh my gosh.
Like, even now, like with the new school year coming, I know again I'm gonna have to let every one of my teachers know somehow that I'm half Filipino, or they're gonna like refer to me wrong and think I'm Hispanic, because it happens like every year. There's like I have to explain, or else I feel like at some point in the year they're gonna refer to me as something that I'm not, and it's gonna make me feel bad.
Do you ever like tell somebody your ethnicity and they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you serious? I would have never guessed." Like I get that all the time.
People love to play the guessing game with me. They're like, they'll be like, they'll meet me for the first time. This happened actually, a specific organization at school that I will not mention for privacy purposes. I was at like this was the summer before my freshman year. They were having like a orientation, I guess, like a club. Like no, it was like a camp. And so it was a 3-day thing.
Yeah.
And the first time the upperclassmen were meeting me, and I was like, yeah, I'm Filipino. And they were like, oh my God, you're Filipino? We also have a guy that's Filipino and Vietnamese. You should meet him. And then they brought me into the room where like everyone was. No, and get this, they were like, guess what race she is? Guess what race she is? And they were like, Hispanic? And I was like, no, I'm Filipino. And they were like, oh my God.
I swear, it's the I remember sitting in the bus, right? Somebody asked me, "Oh, like what race are you?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Hispanic Asian." Like flip their tops. It was like they were looking at an exotic animal. It was like they were looking at an exotic animal. It was so weird.
Or people are mixed nowadays. Have you never met a mixed person?
Exactly.
Before?
Right?
Is it that like weird? Is it that boggling to you that I'm Hispanic?
No. Surprise.
Like sometimes I'll tell a teacher like oh yeah, like my mom's Colombian. They'll be like, really?
Oh yep.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I have to let them know in the beginning of like, you know, the icebreakers where you'll be like, state an interesting fact about you. Mine is always that I'm Filipino and white. I'll always say, yeah,
I hate
my
doing
dad,
that because I'm just like, I feel like I'm just like forcing it. Like,
yeah, like
look, I'm mixed race.
Like, I feel like I have to let them know, or else they won't refer to me right, and I'll get sad. So I just tell them, and then everyone's like, "Oh my God, what the heck? I didn't know this could happen." And I do it it's like every year, and I'm probably gonna have to do it again because always happens.
The guessing game to me for me, it's not really offensive. It's more just like annoying. Like I've had people, they'll be like, "Oh, are you Hispanic?" I'm like, "No, I'm not Hispanic." And then they like start listing things that like are Hispanic.
I know. Like, could you just let me tell you?
I know. They're like, "So you're not Hispanic, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not Hispanic." And they're like, "Oh, so you're Puerto Rican?" No. You're Colombian? No. Venezuelan? And I'm just like, no, I'm not.
Use like Hispanic is just a way to say Mexican now.
Yes,
like,
basically.
I'm just like,
I'm Mexican,
that's
just
weird.
tell me just tell me you think I'm Mexican, and I'll correct you, and that'll be it. We don't have to play the guessing game. You don't have to be like, oh my God, you know, I've gotten Indonesian. I don't what.
I don't know. Some people just go real far with this.
Yeah,
they go real far with it.
I think when it comes to Asian people, they're afraid to call you Chinese because they think that you're going to be racist.
No, look.
And honestly, I don't even blame them because I be doing the same thing. I always I always say, Vietnamese.
What do you call it? So I actually don't mind when people try to guess my race. I always think it's really like amusing that
I
just
kinda
people
find it
just spew,
amusing
they
now.
just spew shit. Most of the things that I
Yeah.
get is usually like it's always Japanese for some reason. They're always just like, oh, Japanese? Like I don't know, that seems so like far fetched. I always get Japanese, but nobody ever says Chinese until one actual Chinese person was like, oh yeah, you're definitely Chinese. And I was like, thank you. I am.
What?
I've gotten Filipino once.
Yeah.
Okay, but see,
I've
that's the thing.
gotten Filipino
Filipinos, you can
once.
like, you can always tell, but you can never tell.
You always like. I think Filipino people say that because we all have like a sixth sense. Like we can pick. You can have a crowd of like Asian people, and there's one Filipino person, and you're like, it's that one.
That one's Filipino. No,
Even
I've gotten Filipino before.
Even like mixed Filipino people, I know they have Filipino. I sense it in my brain.
Okay.
I can smell it.
Ew.
That's me with like Vietnamese people. It's the way they walk. Vietnamese people walk a certain way. It's like they never.
That was so out of
So
field.
strange.
No, because they never walk with purpose. They always walk like they're going
just
somewhere
walk.
fun.
They're just strolling.
Yes,
They
they
just
always
walk.
stroll. They don't walk, they
walk.
stroll.
That's
I don't know.
hilarious.
I can't tell. I can't tell these Asians. I'm sorry, that sounded kind of racist.
These Asians.
Oh my
They all
god,
look
I
the
can't
same.
tell these Asians apart. Oh
I
my
can't. You could show an Asian person and be like, what flavor of Asian are they? And I'd be like,
flavor of
bro,
Asian?
I don't know.
Flavor?
Flavor.
Flavor.
Oh,
Asian are they? Same thing with actually with Hispanic people. It's a little easier. I don't know why. We're all so different. You can kind of tell. Like you could just kind of tell. Like you could
Sometimes
show me a
I
Hispanic
tell
person, I'd be like,
Colombian, but that's it.
no. When somebody's for some reason, I always have a feeling somebody's Colombian. Like I see somebody and
That's
like
what I'm
I
saying,
have a
it's a
feeling
It's
you're
a
Colombian,
feeling.
and then they are. Like what's your friend's name? I forgot. One of your Colombian friends. I was like,
Me?
no, what? Yes, Savannah.
Oh,
Savannah, one of your
Melanie?
Colombian friends. Yes. I was like,
I only have one. It's just you and Melanie. That's it.
Melanie. I remember looking at her. I was like, something about her.
Something about her is giving Colombian.
Something about her is
Or no, like
giving me a little Colombian.
Giving.
It's giving.
with Kenneth's friend, who I will not name for privacy purposes. I had
You
a
don't
gut
have to always
feeling.
say that.
I had a gut feeling he was Filipino, but mixed with something, and I knew it, and I was right. It never fails. I've never been wrong, not once.
Congrats.
I pride myself.
I think the funniest thing is like when there's people who are like they're mixed with black or like they're mixed with black and then they like try and say they're not black. They'll be like, no, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm just like, you do know like you could be black and Puerto Rican. Like it doesn't make sense. Like there's a lot of
People not
Afro-Latino
understand
people.
that about people. Like surprise.
Yeah,
because
like
thing-
I have family members on my black side that are Dominican, and they're like, "Oh, but I'm not black." Yes, you are.
besties. I have you.
Bestie, I have some news for you.
You might be
It's like
surprised.
just like they're like very, very obviously black, like not mixed with anything. They're just Afro Latino, so they're
Mhm.
black and like Dominican. I'm just
Right.
like, bestie, why you got a lot of yourself?
I don't know if you knew this, but
I've got some news.
Sorry to be the one to tell you, but
Okay, so this will be nearing the end of our time here today, but what do you guys think of people who go out of their way to make mixed babies? That sounds really weird, but it seems as being mixed or multiracial is almost a desirable trait nowadays.
We might have to speed run this because this
You're
is
right.
like our longest episode yet.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
It's
We
okay.
mix
This,
people
this
like
was
talk a
something.
lot.
This was something to talk about.
Yeah, I think it's freaking weird because
yeah,
Yeah, I think we
Like,
can all agree
yeah.
on that.
yes, I had this mindset when I was 6 that I had to marry a Filipino man or else my blood is going to be washed out and I need to have Filipino children because I have to carry on the bloodline.
You have
Savannah
to
had the
read the
opposite
Filipino
mindset.
children.
But I
yeah,
don't
you
want
have
to
the
have that
exact
mindset.
opposite.
But I think a lot of it is rooted in colorism, especially with, for
Mhm.
some reason, white women have this ideal that they need to marry a black man to have cute little light-skinned babies.
Yeah.
and it's really
Yeah.
weird.
Because it's
That's not how we
trendy.
work.
It's so
Yeah,
trendy.
And then it's almost always a situation where it's like a white woman and they're very blatantly racist.
No,
Like
and
my
then-
cousins, yeah, like my
Yeah, I
cousins, they
don't
have a
like-
white mother.
Uh-huh.
And like her and her whole family is very, very racist. But because she wanted like cute, like mixed light skinned babies.
light skinned babies with
Yeah,
curly hair
like
and
oh,
green
curly
eyes.
hair. Yeah, exactly. And like even though they came out looking exactly like that, like they're still black. And
No,
you
and
don't
then,
like
like-
them because they're black.
I think people, like, especially women that want cute little light skinned I have to do the voice. That want cute
Yeah.
little light skinned babies. They don't
Mhm.
think about how, like, a lot of times I notice, like, when Black people have children, like, they might not come out that color, bro. Like,
Yeah.
they might come out
That's not how it works.
It's like it's
Yeah.
I've seen it before. Like the mom will be white and the dad will be like dark skin, and you would expect white and dark skin would make a light skinned baby, but the baby comes out dark skin. And
Yeah.
the mom, and then,
Mixing color.
and then it comes out dark skin with like 4C hair and not the 3B hair that you wanted, you know, like
Yeah.
and like
And
the
then
caramel
that child
skin.
always, yeah, that child is always treated differently.
Yeah, because you like babies aren't like a freaking like Barbie doll. Like you can't freaking make one like just how you want. That's not how genetics work. Like if I don't know, like some women want to like have babies with an Asian man to have cute little Asian babies.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Like,
I
that a
get
lot.
that. It's like I'm gonna go fly to Japan to
Oh,
like
God.
meet some Japanese man and make like little
Right.
Japanese
Oh,
babies because Asian babies are so cute.
Do they not realize that Asian babies half the time don't come out looking Asian? Like
Asian babies.
Exactly.
No offense to Asian babies, but
Or Asian
some
people.
Asian babies.
Specifically
Maybe
Asian
ugly as
babies.
hell.
like I've seen most of the time, like they'll pick up the white genes. Like I don't often see a Asian person who looks like super Asian, you know? And I'm Asian. I don't look super Asian. I look Hispanic. So if you're going into something with a mindset that you need to have a baby that looks a certain way for your own racial here we go again.
Fetishization.
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 Okay.
Fetishization purposes,
Mm-hmm.
it's toxic not only to your relationship because you're only with this person because of their race. Like I guarantee you, you don't
Yeah.
like them. And it's also toxic because what if your baby doesn't come out like that? Then
Yeah.
what? You're gonna hate your kid?
You're just gonna have more kids or something?
Exactly. Like, and then you have like that perfect little light skinned baby that you want, and you favor them over your dark skinned kid. You know, like it doesn't make any sense.
That's so terrible. Oh my god.
I know. And I
You
hate
shouldn't have
that
kids if
mindset, like,
that's your mindset.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
should
like-
not
Yeah,
have kids.
Don't have kids at all.
because
Like, get a doll. That's
Real.
if you want your baby to look a certain way, get a doll. They have like those.
Like Bella Poarch
have you ever
said.
heard of those? Those realistic baby dolls. Go get one of those.
Those
Like
are cool.
Bella Poarch said, this ain't Build-A-Bitch. You don't get to pick and choose.
No, for real, it's not build a baby. You don't get to like
Build a
come to the
baby.
factory. I want it to have caramel skin, 3B hair, green eyes, and like
Yeah.
it's not gonna. Your baby's not gonna come out looking like Rihanna. I'm sorry. Like you know, like you can. Your baby's not gonna look like Zendaya. I can't help it. Like
Yeah.
It's the way she says Rihanna and Zendaya.
like it's not like I don't understand because genetics like Punnett
They just
squares,
don't fucking work like that.
Exactly. Like you're not gonna. It's
Take a
almost
biology
completely randomized. Take a biology class. Go work on your Punnett squares. You know what? If you want your baby to look a certain way, go do a Punnett square and calculate how that baby's gonna turn out, and then come back and then think about it.
So
yeah,
great.
so
Well,
oh, this is so weird because I usually do the ending, but Kenneth is here.
you gave me
Where
it,
are you,
so I'm gonna
Kenneth?
do
I
it.
know. I
All right.
forgot.
So
Kenneth.
that's all the questions.
That's
for
all the questions we
today.
have for
No,
today.
no. That's all the questions we have for today. We'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for listening, and we also want to give another thank you No, thank you. Never mind.
Yes, Ellen DeGeneres.
To who was it? Oh yeah,
DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres. Sure. I guess. As usual, videos are posted every week, so please subscribe so you won't miss any episodes.
Also,
Which
go watch our
means,
older episodes.
right? Which means
Also, go follow our Twitter.
okay,
Plug.
Jesus,
Plug.
we're peaking again. That was Max, by the way. It's okay.
I'd like to apologize to all our viewers.
Yeah. So you won't miss any
We're really
episodes.
It's gonna be like an apology video. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Oh
Just
my
you. You're sitting in the camera. I'd like to make an apology
No,
to
actually,
everyone.
follow our Twitter.
Reading off
We'll
your notes
post
app.
a notes app apology on our Twitter.
Yeah.
Apologizing for how long this episode was.
I'm so sorry.
That's
Yeah.
okay. This is a very loaded episode, so it's
We
okay.
had a lot to
You're
say.
talking about food for like
Yeah.
20 minutes.
You know
Sorry.
what? This next one might be food, but we will
might
see.
have to be connected about food.
As usual, videos are posted every week, so subscribe, which means also hit the bell if you want notifications.
Yes.
Notification button.
I don't
Hit
think
that
anyone's
like
ever said that
button.
yet. Twitter is in the description below, and now we now still have a whooping number of whooping. You whooping. We still have a whopping. You put whooping. And we now still have a whopping number of 1 follow, according to Alex.
Yeah.
Next
So
follower,
amazing how
notification.
nothing ever changes.
One more follower and we'll do a giveaway.
Yeah, we'll do a giveaway.
Oh my god, I
We'll
will
give
give
away
away.
an iPad Pro. I mean, an
An
iPhone
iPad
12
Pro? Oh my god, I'll be our second subscriber.
Are you not subscribed to us?
I'm not.
I know he is.
I don't use Twitter. I don't use Twitter. So,
Oh, on Twitter?
Yeah, I don't
You
have
can't subscribe on Twitter, Kenneth. You
You're
follow.
dumb.
yeah, because I don't
Yeah,
have a
you
Twitter.
stupid.
Anyway,
He's so old.
Make a
He's
burner
so
account.
dry.
I don't use Twitter.
Make a burner account.
No.
Just make one so you can follow us.
Yeah, just like how I made one to never mind.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Never mind.
The username.
Yeah, he
is
made
like,
a porn. I'm just kidding.
A what?
Whoa.
And in our next episode of Cultural Connection,
Not that. It's definitely not that one.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
Imagine if we were monetized.
yeah. Well, we're definitely not gonna be after all that was said in this episode.
hey algorithm,
Hey algorithms, give us like 500 views. Yeah.
Please.
Why was it quiet?
if we hit 2 likes on this video, we will do a giveaway.
We will be
I will give away a lamp.
I will give away this tech deck.
I'll
give away this half-burned
I will
candle.
give away this used chapstick.
We're like pitching in. This is the whole prize. Everybody has to pitch in one thing.
I'll
Right.
give away my broken retainer.
What the?
I'll give
I don't
away
know
my
about that
own
one.
glasses.
I have a crocheted bee.
That's the reward. You get a crochet tee.
A crochet. Okay.
You want to
Yeah,
give me
I think the stuffing's coming out.
I should just follow on all of my other Twitter accounts.
All
Every
8.
single one of them.
She
Oh
has
yeah,
a
all 8 of them.
75% chance to win.
You have 8?
I have 8.
I have
They're
4.
each for
You're
different
insane.
Anyways,
Insane.
Anyways,
Why do you have 8? How do you even keep up with that? I don't even have 8 friends.
You're tired.
Okay. But anyways, we will catch you in the next one.
Bye,
Oh my
guys.
Wait, who's
Bye,
our
everyone.
next guest?
who is our next
don't
guest?
know.
Zendaya.
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 Yeah.
Next guest is
Zendaya and
I
Rihanna.
love
And
her.
Rihanna. And Rihanna.
And Rihanna. Both.
And Rihanna?
And Rihanna.
Oh my
I won't be
god.
late
I will
this
get
time.
them. I'll call their managers. We got it.
I
Rihanna,
won't
make
be late
more
this
music,
time.
please.
Well, like the whole entire episode is just us begging her to make music.
Oh my god.
Okay.
No,
but-
Zendaya needs to make more music.
All right, guys.
Bye,
Seriously, it's
guys.
the end of it. Thank
Alright,
you.
We're almost at an
Bye.
hour 30. Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye, everyone. See you in the next one.
Mwah.